Hey folks, this is Jeff from This Week with JTT. This is former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. I believe his name is Mark Jeffries, from our last report last time, and I got more detail. This is from CNN. I should have gone to Fox, but people say, "Oh, you're pro Fox." Not that pro Fox. I go up to CNN because people don't believe much of anything. I'll probably go to Fox as well, so don't worry about that. It says right here on CNN. Mike Jeffries, the former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, had been indicted on 16 federal counts of sex trafficking and international prostitution in New York, and is accused of leveraging a network of employees, contractors, and security professionals while he leave the retailer. So he's taking a little page from P. Diddy. Maybe you kind of wonder, is there a connection with P. Diddy? Makes me kind of wonder. While Jeffries was the CEO of one of the most recognizable clothing retailers in the world, facts, he was using his power, his wealth, and his influence to traffic men for his own sexual pleasure, and that his romantic partner, Matthew Smith, bringing peace. Matthew Smith, bringing peace. U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York said in a Tuesday press. So basically, this is from Bringing Peace. The person, his romantic partner, is Matthew Smith. Smith, 61, of West Palm Beach, Florida, and another associate of Jeffries, James Jacobson, 71, of Rice Lake. Apparently he likes his men older. Rice Lake, Wisconsin, will also die as part of the case. Jacobson was employed by Jeffries and Smith to recruit, interview, and hire men to perform commercial sex acts for Jeffries and Smith, according to the indictment. Boy, this is... Why have got them that... I'm not going to say these involved, but you can't but to wonder. It says here, the indictment alleges that between December 2008 and March 2015, Jeffries, Smith, and Jacobson engaged in a sex trafficking scheme in which they would recruit men to engage in sex events, at which the alleged victims were given muscle relaxants known as poppers, alcohol, lubricant, Viagra, condom. Oh my goodness, sounds like a P. Diddy party. They were allegedly enticed into acts with modeling careers and career opportunities at Abercrombie. Yeah, page for P. Diddy sounds like. Jeffries stepped down as CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch in 2014, having run the company since 1992. That's quite a while. As we shared when accusations were first made public in October 2023, we were appalled and disgusted by alleged behavior of Mr. Jeffries, whose employment with Abercrombie and Fitch ended nearly 10 years ago. Abercrombie and Fitch said in a statement, for close to a decade, we have successfully transformed our brands and culture into a values-driven organization that we are today. Wow, okay. We have zero tolerance for abuse, harassment, and discrimination of any kind, and are committed to fully cooperating with the law enforcement as the legal process continues. So basically, if Mr. Jeffries said he'll get some type of support from that former company he's involved with, think again. The message from today's prosecution is clear. Sexually exploiting vulnerable human beings is a crime, and doing so by dangling dreams of a future in fashion, modeling, or any other business is no different. U.S. Attorney P said in a press conference announcing the indictment. Yeah. As Catwoman says, divas are going to get exposed, but wow, they weren't kidding. They were not kidding. Jeffries and Smith relied on the vast financial resources, according to the indictment, using Jacobson and a network of employees, contracted security professionals to run a business that was dedicated to fulfilling their sexual desires and ensuring that their international sex trafficking and prostitution business was kept secret. It's no longer a secret now, isn't it? Jeffries and Smith paid for dozens of men to travel within the United States and internationally to various locations, including the Hamptons, New York City, and hotels in England, France, Italy, Morocco, and Bethany, for purposes of engaging in sex acts with Jeffries, Smith, and others, according to the indictment. Some of the men were allegedly paid to attend multiple sex events. Ugh, sounds like a Diddy party. All three defendants were arrested this morning. Jeffries and Smith made their initial appearances this afternoon in federal court. In the Southern District of Florida, Jacobson was arrested in Wisconsin and made his initial appearance in federal court in St. Paul, Minnesota. before I go on, my question is, are these guys in some type of metropolitan detention center? Because these guys are allowed to post bail and allowed to roam free, then I have a problem with it. Because P. Diddy, don't get me wrong, P. Diddy's no saint, not by a stretch. He's in lockup. Let me keep a rating. Hopefully these men are in lockup or there's going to be a problem. Really? Here it is out, folks. This is where you're going to be upset. Jeffries was released on $10 million bond. P. Diddy offered to pay 5 times more and he's still behind lockup. Jeffries was released at $10 million bond. Jacobson was released on $500,000 bond. And Smith was ordered to be detained. Okay, so basically, out of the 3, only Smith was detained. That's bull. There'll be an arrangement in the Eastern District of New York on Friday. We'll respond in detail to the allegations after the indictment is unsealed when appropriate, but plan to do so in the courthouse, not the media, says Brian Bieber, attorney for Michael Jeffries. The attorney for Matthew Smith released the same statement for his client. The attorney for Jacobson did not immediately respond for requests for comment. Jacobson's alleged role was to travel the world to recruit and interview men for the sex events and conduct trials of potential candidates. What? Jacobson typically required that the candidates first engage in sex acts with him. Disgusting. Jeffries and Smith hired separate household staff to supervise these parties and directed the men to wear costumes, use sex toys, and prepare to participate in sex acts, prosecutors allege. The staff also will act as security and control who entered and exited the sex event, the indictment says, and will not let them leave until Jeffries and Smith decided the event was over. The accused are alleged to have used a referral system, interview process for sex events, and then disclose details to the man on what would entail, including full state and nature of the sexual activity that would be acquired of them according to the indictment, which includes, I'm not going to read the rest, blank intercourse and use of sex toys and other objects. The accused intentionally recruited okay. This one gets twisted here. The accused intentionally recruited heterosexual men who were physically groomed prior to the sex parties, including shaving their junk without advance notice. The men were required to relinquish personal items such as clothing, wallets, and cell phones. Sounds familiar? On more than one occasion, the indictment said Jeffries and Smith directed others to eject or personally inject the men with drugs for the purpose of causing men to engage in sex acts, in which they were obviously physically incapable or unwilling. These injections frequently caused the men to suffer painful physical reactions that lasted for several hours, according to prosecutors. What type of sick thing did I run into? In some cases, the alleged victims had previously worked at Abercrombie stores or had modeled for Abercrombie, were provided with itineraries for sex events that didn't refer to commercial sex, instead resembled those set to models for photo shoots. Some of the alleged victims were as young as 19. A source familiar with the case said many of these men were aspiring models. They were led to believe to attending these parties would benefit their careers. Prosecutor says they were also told, according to the indictment, that not complying with a certain request for certain acts will harm their careers. The victims were allegedly required to sign a non-disclosure agreement prohibiting them from sharing information about the sex events, including with their own family members and friends. Jeffries came to scrutiny in 2023 after a BBC investigation alleged that CEO and his partner, Matthew Smith, used a middleman to recruit and exploit young men. Dozens of men filed a lawsuit last year against Jeffries and Abercrombie and Fitch, alleged the former CEO used his position in the company to exploit and abuse men. Abercrombie and Fitch said at the time it was appalled by the allegation and launched an independent investigation into the matter. As CEO for over 2 decades, Jeffries transformed Abercrombie and Fitch into a global brand for teen and youth fashion, often with provocative marketing. In 2002, Jeffries went viral for a salon interview when he said, "We go after the attractive all-American kid with a great attitude and a lot of friends. And a lot of people don't belong in our clothes. They can't belong. Are we exclusionary? Absolutely. Sounds like a bit of a snob. 2013, Abercrombie and Fitch garnered notoriety after Change.org petition that gained nearly 80,000 signatures called for the company to introduce larger, more inclusive t-shirt sizes. That year, Abercrombie and Fitch succumbed to the pressure and announced they would begin offering plus-size clothing. About time for the big man. Yeah, about time. Thumbs up for the big guys. Come on. Not everybody's a size small, please. And Jeffries stepped down in 2014 amid celebration from fans who wanted to ditch his exclusionary vision for the company. Long story short, sounds like the guy took a page from P. Diddy, but what do you think? And were you ever a fan of Abercrombie and Fitch? What's your thoughts, Abercrombie and Fitch? Please, 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 I want to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Peace.